My name's Alex Wilson, broker owner of Remax Wealth Builders Real Estate, avid condo investor myself. I have a portfolio of 13 condos, a triplex in High Park, and an apartment building in Hamilton. And then we have Kyle beside me, co-founder Remax Wealth Builders Real Estate, also an avid condo investor. And we really take an approach of education to our clients wise. We want to share our success with you, to educate you, to show you how you can build wealth through real estate wise. And again, I know this webinar was short notice wise, but we had tremendous response and lots of interest in the project wise. And it's no wonder because of a 72-acre site on the water in the GTA. These just don't happen overnight, and this actual site has really sat vacant for nearly 100 years. So anyone really that's lived in Mississauga or is driven by poor credit has only known this area as just a fenced off site. So it's finally in the process now of being remediated, and you're gonna have this fantastic new community.
Yeah, Alex, I'd love to give a little more background about this site. It's really interesting. I love the history behind a lot of these sites. So the entire site, 72 acres, like you mentioned, actually was a brick manufacturing plant in the 1800s. So really when Toronto started, the origin of the site. That lasted until around 1927. Then in 1932, it became an oil refinery and storage facility for Texaco. And that lasted really from about 59 to about 1985. And then Imperial Oil purchased the site. And they decommissioned it back in 1990. And like you mentioned, it sat completely dormant for the last 30 years. So, you know, driving by, you would have just seen it fenced off, not being used. And now they're going to completely clean up the site, remediate it, and it's really going to revitalize the entire area and serve as a catalyst for development in the area.
Yeah, it's going to be, well, and the great thing is you're already right up against poor credit, which is one of the most desirable waterfront communities in the GTA wise. So you have the establishment, you already have the established infrastructure of restaurants, shopping, and everything in this neighborhood wise. And literally, and you know, if for those that were on for the chit chat wise, when COVID hit, everyone, I think, was sort of reevaluating, is this where I want to live, and various things. So my wife and I actually started looking at this area. You know, are we going to leave Toronto? Do we want a larger house? And we were looking at homes in the Mineola West area. Mineola West is located, is just the community just north of Port Credit wise. Multi-million-dollar homes, 2, 3. There's one listed for $8 million up in this community wise. So what you have is you have this established waterfront community, and then surrounding this waterfront community, multi-million-dollar homes. This is really important because now what this new community is going to be providing is, you know, I'll put in the quotations, the affordable option to live in this community wise. And even from the requests for units that we've had, the majority of people are actually end users. It's not even investors. It's people said, like, I want to live in this community. I want to own a piece of this community. And my intention is to move into this community wise. And if you think of, again, back to COVID wise, and as people are looking at, okay, well, where do I want to live? You're getting all the park space, all the waterfront trails, and again, the restaurants and lifestyle in an affordable community right on the waterwise. So I've been researching this project for about a month. Obviously, it's been on. I know it's been on people's radars for a very, very, very long time. But the more I researched, the more I really got excited about this.
So when Alex, we've heard, you know, Muskoka is booming because people, you know, are trying to get away. They want outdoor space, want to be on the water. And this is one of the rare opportunities where you'd be able to buy a development that has direct access to the water, to lake.
Yeah.
It's really your cottage in the city.
Yeah, and Kyle and I, we're both from Northern Ontario, so you know, I laugh about the cottage boom wise. I have no interest in sitting in traffic driving up north. Zero, zero. I have no interest in driving in it. I have no interest in the upkeep of a cottage wise. So my big thing in my head is like, okay, you guys all bought cottages. Who's going to take care of the cottage now? And when you get that crazy, okay, I'm going to buy this cottage. I'm going to rent it out. This is going to cover my costs. And then in my head, I'm like, okay, you're going to rent it out. You rent it out for a week. Then who's gonna go up there, turn it over, manage it, all the issues that come up with owning a waterfront property or a rural property, this kind of stuff, which my family owns these properties, and I know all the problems that come with this. What's gonna happen the first time your septic tank fills up and overflows? Remember that at Christine McCarthy's cottage a weekend that we had a septic tank? So I'm totally going off a tangent wise, but there is a rationale behind that. Cottages, you're stuck in traffic. There is incredible amount of upkeep. There's opening the cottage, there's closing the cottage, there's insurance issues. There's so many different issues that come with the cottage wise. Or you can get something that's within commutable distance wise via public transit. You don't even need to drive there. Public transit here is incredible wise, which we'll get into. And it's literally a concrete box in the sky that nothing can go wrong with. And you're right on the water. With restaurants and everything walking distance wise. I feel strongly about that. I know Kyle does because we are from the north, we are from the wilderness, so we know the reality of owning something up there. So before I keep on going, I'm gonna get into the presentation. Great. So Brightwater, it's a 78 2-acre community going up in the Port Credit area. It's right on the water in South Mississauga. An incredible hub of restaurants, boutique shopping. It's a community that you don't need to leave, and it's right in the water. And when, in our chit chat wise beforehand, literally we went through our heads. It's the best waterfront community with close proximity to downtown Toronto wise to the west wise. So it's more established than the Humber Bay area. It has the restaurants and everything like that. It is an established brand name neighborhood. And to give you some idea of the neighborhood wise, the Port Credit area has a nearly 53,000 people wise. If we look at the average household income, over $130,000. If we look at the actual Mississauga condo appreciation, we've been looking at incredible appreciation, 16% per year, which actually it's been outpacing Toronto over the last five-year period, which Toronto's been 11.83. So we're actually seeing greater appreciation in condos in the Mississauga area. You're looking at a neighborhood where the median resident age is 43, nearly 44, and why that is relevant wise, you're not going to be renting, if you're buying this for investment, you're not going to be renting to 21-year-old students wise. You're going to be renting out to established professionals. And then from a supply standpoint, and this is where I'm very excited about the future rents for this area wise, it's predominantly freehold housing in this area. So the dwelling type, so of the nearly 21,000 households in the area, 82% is non-condo, only 18% is condo. And what I mentioned, the requests that we're getting for units wise, it's actually predominantly end users that are interested in this space, because where are you going to live in this area wise? Are you going to buy a $1, $2, $3, $4 million, $5 million house? Because that's what these houses cost in these surrounding areas. Well, that may not be in your budget wise, or it just may not be the lifestyle that you want in regards to the upkeep of a large house and everything like that. So you may prefer the condo lifestyle wise, and there's a very limited supply of condos in this area. And from a rental standpoint, when we look at the median age of 44, if you're thinking of downsizers, if you're thinking of individuals that are retiring wise and they want to retire to a nice area, they may not even want home ownership anymore, and they may want to rent these properties because they've cashed out of their house, their multi-million-dollar house wise. They don't want to go back into real estate ownership, and they're looking just for a nice rental wise, and they'll live off the returns of their cashing out of their investment wise. This is what this community has to offer, and one of the things that people that I always bring up, like neighborhoods like this, when you have condo neighborhoods right beside multi-million-dollar homes, I'm sure there will be a very, very robust divorce market here as well. So the divorcees will be living in this community as well. So don't discount the divorcee rental income coming in. It's relevant and it's lucrative as well. So something else to consider about being in this community. So when we look at this next slide, really we're looking at Port Credit Village-wise, and you see all of the dots in regards to 23 different restaurants, coffee shops, lounges-wise, all along the strips. 21 different boutiques to go shopping-wise. You have your educational facilities. You have your public transit, your GO train stop. Which we'll get into further. You look at all the green space here, all the park space that's already established in the area. JC, Saddington Park, right beside the Brightwater community-wise. Lots of green space right on the waterfront trail. And there'll be more park space built into the community as well, as it is 72 acres.
Yeah, and Alex, that's one of the benefits of this development is that there's already so much there. There's a lot of development things. There's a plaza directly across from the development that already has a grocery store, lots of retail. And that doesn't include anything that this development is bringing itself as well, which is only going to complement the existing, facilities and infrastructure that are there.
Exactly. And here we have the image of the actual, it gives you the scope of the size of this development wise. And, for those that read my email wise and then highlighted in red, I put in, it's a master plan community. And whenever Kyle and I see a master plan community, we always say jump at the first phase because all the future phases will be more expensive. They always price the first phases lower, and then they ramp up prices, as steam builds up in the project wise. We both bought in the master plan Galleria development in Toronto wise. So this is your opportunity to get into the first phases of this development wise. It's nearly 3,000 units going in, and they're going to be releasing just under 10% of this development in the first phase, first buildings that are launching wise. And we're looking at pricing wise of, they're going to average just over $1,000 per square foot. There are going to be some units that are going to be under $1,000 per square foot, and there's going to be units that are more than $1,000 per square foot. There are some units that will touch up to the $1,200 per square foot wise, which are going to be your terrace, 2-bedroom, south-facing units wise. So you're going to have a range of pricing in the development wise, but whatever you end up getting, you're getting the lowest possible price point in this whole development, and future phases will be more expensive. And what's cool is when we're looking at here, you're going to have some townhomes being built. I shouldn't say some. There are a lot of townhomes, low-rise, being built in this development as well, which that helps protect the sight lines in this development, where you're looking, you have big gaps between the future buildings wise. So that's going to protect your future south views. When we're looking at the buildings that are launching wise, if you can see what I'm circling, this is Brightwater 2, which is part of the development. And then we have Brightwater 1, which is here. So these are the first two buildings that are launching here in the development. And yeah, you can see that right here. So we go back into here. So Brightwater 2, Brightwater 1, retail being built in right here. And speaking of the retail wise, retail and commercial space, over 300,000 square feet of retail and commercial office space going in. Some of that retail already confirmed. There is a grocery store going in here. There's an LCBO going in here. So you're getting the vital community amenities to sustain their future residents that are going into this area wise. We have that proposed future elementary school, which is going to be great for the families. Families help drive prices up. 18 acres of open spaces and public realms, which again, you already have so much park space in this neighborhood, and you're going to have your own park space in this area. They're building a future beach. You're going to have a beach as part of this community wise. All things which are going to add to the future value of all these properties. So here you can see some of the images. So if we get an idea of when you extend and you get down to right to the waterfront part, you can get an idea of these. These I imagine will be the final buildings they're releasing wise that are right on the water. And then you can see the beach space right here, which will be part of the future development wise. Village Square, which if we go back up right here, Village Square is in between Brightwater 1 and 2. So you're getting a community space courtyard wise right by the first buildings. So again, lots of community space, wide spaces, open spaces for people to get together and enjoy their neighborhood wise. Very, very.
And a lot of the promenades have really been European inspired. So they're going to be very pedestrian friendly, walkable designs. They're going to include bike lanes in them. So it's not going to be like, having cars zooming by. It's going to be very community oriented, very safe to travel within, and you'll really want to stay there, and it'll become a destination for people to come as well.
And speaking of that, and what's really, really cool, I've been invested in one of the builders in the project is Dream, and they typically build in the internet infrastructure in their buildings wise, and they use Beamfield for their internet services. But what's really cool is that you're going to have unlimited internet data included with your suite wise, but also in the community areas. So you'll have Wi-Fi. So when you go to leave your condo and now you're in one of those community spaces, you'll have Wi-Fi. You'll be able to connect to Wi-Fi in your amenity and community spaces, which I think is incredible wise. As well, you're gonna have a digital home package wise where you can control your unit from your phone. So you have your programmable, there we go, thermostats. You're going to have a master lighting control. You're going to have keyless entry wise. I think really, really forward thinking wise with the building wise. Everything will be able to be controlled with your phone, which is great. And we've seen that Tridell's 10 York has something similar to that currently. And we recently sold a unit to a buyer wise, and on closing wise, you organizing keys and everything like that. There were no keys in the building. And there was a little confusion at the beginning wise. And you could have a fob or you could do everything with your phone. So literally in that building wise, you don't need a fob, you don't need keys. Everything can be done with the phone wise, access the building wise, access your it's coded entry with the doors. It was incredible wise. So imagine not having to try to find your keys in the morning. It's one less worry on your mind. So I like that they're building that all in the infrastructure of these units. So 10 reasons to live in Brightwater. These were in the email wise, but we'll quickly highlight those. 5 public parks are going to be going in the whole development, 72-acre development, which will add up to 18 acres of open spaces. You have the waterfront trail that's going to be going through there. So I personally have 2 dogs. I walk them in the evening, I walk them at night, I walk them in the morning wise. For those that are pet lovers or people that just want to go for a stroll, it's going to be great for you to enjoy the outdoors and walk along the waterfront trail. As we mentioned, it's already in the established port credit area. So all your retail, all your shopping is all right there at your doorstep. Not only is there park space in the community, there's all the park space that's just outside of the community, including JC Saddington Park or Memorial Park. Port Credit again, being an established area, there's always different events being held. Just think of fireworks on holidays wise, and looking at those fireworks from the comfort of your condo wise, or different music festivals, or all the different festivals that go on. These are all at your doorstep wise. You don't need to leave the community. In regards to transit wise, of getting downtown or getting out of this area, and I don't even think we've talked about it enough in this presentation, because I barely touched on it. But you have a GO train, which you have a GO train stop that's already established here. So we talked about this being the best waterfront community west of the city wise, the closest proximity to downtown Toronto. You have the Port Credit GO train stop that's already there. Humber Bay doesn't have that. This already has the GO train stop. Not only that, you already have the future Hurontario LRT line that's being developed along Hurontario. So what does that mean? Is that if you wanted to go get up to Square One, you can just jump on the LRT, which is going to bring you up to Square One along Hurontario as well. And if you didn't want to take the GO train downtown, you could easily access downtown driving wise. You just go up Hurontario and you'd access the QEW and the Gardiner Expressway. So easy access, either drive downtown or take the GO train downtown. And Kyle just did a live update while in the chat, and he said it was a 22-minute drive downtown right now if you were to go leave this community wise. And in the chit chat wise, and we were talking about different communities, and again during COVID wise, my wife and I explored areas outside of the city wise. Ultimately decided to stay in the city, but what's attractive about this is if you know where the bottlenecks for traffic are, this is right before the bend where the Credit River goes, and you have the bridge, which reduces the number of lanes. So you have a bottleneck of traffic coming up on Mississauga Road. This is before Mississauga Road wise. So that's how you're able to get downtown so quickly wise. You're before a lot of the choke points for traffic wise. Getting to Oakville during a busy traffic day, that could take 45 minutes to an hour wise, because you have multiple choke points before this point. This is just basically, you're getting in before the Credit River Bridge choke point wise, and then you can easily get to downtown. So people that know this, incredibly important wise. If you don't know this, just look at traffic alerts and the traffic congestion where it flows on the QEW. That's what makes it really attractive being in this area west. Kind of basically the community just outside of Toronto is what it is.
Yeah, something that blows my mind too is you can walk to the GO train station. You don't have to drive there. It's actually walking distance, which is amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, walking distance.
Yeah, and this is also probably going to push for better transit along Lakeshore as well. There's already been talks about that, as well as even running shuttles from the development to the GO station as well, kind of in the interim.
Yeah, and think it's going to be a nice walk. It's going to be a nice walk to the GO. When you think of walking wise to various locations, there are nice walks and there are not nice walks. Downtown, if you're walking, let's say from Bathurst and King all the way to the financial district, might be a 15-minute walk. I don't feel like a 15-minute walk, so it's a nice walk. There's lots of things going around along that walk wise. This will be something similar as well. And then speaking of things going on around you, we talked about there is 3,000 square feet of commercial, office and retail going in here, and that retail is going to include a grocer and an LCBO, which is fantastic. Port Credit, if you're a boater, an enthusiast, there is the harbor marina right there. You can park your boat just next door and have your boat at the marina next door. Shuck fresh oysters from by the lake at Snug Harbor, which is a local landmark in the area wise. And then we talked about how this property is connected wise. You'll be able to control everything with your smartphone. No more bulky keys in your pocket or running around the house trying to find them or where your kid put them. That was a personal jab at myself. So here are some images of the two buildings that are being launched, Brightwater 1 and Brightwater 2. So when we speak about launch wise, the official launch is tomorrow. So everyone on this chat will get the pricing and floor plans sent out to you tomorrow-wise for these buildings. They'll probably be going out later in the afternoon or in the evening-wise. The official launch event is at 2 p.m. Tomorrow, but we wanted to get you all the information right off the bat to help educate everyone and wrap your head around everything. Incredible demand for this project-wise. Again, it's on the water. It's a master plan community. It's your first opportunity to get into. There's no wonder there's demand around it. So the first building is 5 stories, has 75 condo units. Starting size of those units is 500 square feet. We're looking at estimated completion spring 2023. And then Brightwater 2 is a 14-story building with 235 condos. So you see just over 300 units are being released in the 2 towers wise. Starting unit size is 460 square feet. And again, completion is going to be around that spring 2023. There'll be great views to the north. There'll be great views to the south, to the east, to the west. There really isn't any obstructed views in these 2 towers. So that's the benefit of having this master plan community-wise and having 72 acres to help space out these buildings to really maximize the views no matter what direction you're looking at. Talking about the amenities-wise in the buildings, 24-hour concierge, large parcel storage, which again in these post-COVID times is very relevant. I have Amazon stopping at my house every day. You're gonna have your party room, your lounges, gym, yoga, meditation spaces, outdoor dining, barbecues, rooftop terraces, co-working spaces, pet spa, great place to clean your pets, bicycle storage. We talked about the smart home connections, 20,000 square feet of ground floor retail, and then all the amenities of the Brightwater area as well. So again, you basically end up living almost on a resort-wise in this community, which is again great for renters, great for downsizers, great for people that want to take advantage of this community. So here are some images. Again, there's Brightwater 1, which will be right on Lakeshore wise. So easy, being right on Lakeshore, that you're going to be the closest building right to the GO train station for easy access to transportation wise and restaurants. It's Brightwater 2, which are going to offer some incredible south, west, and north views. Here's some images, get an idea of what the views would be like from the balconies. This is giving an idea of what the retail spaces will look like off of the street. This is Village Square, so that's some of the community space that's going to be offered to residents wise. And then here getting into some of the sample floor plans as well. You know, looking at the 1+ den layouts wise, you know, the dens are great, especially, you know, going again in this post-COVID world or living in this COVID world. You know, the dens offer a great area, secondary working space wise, or if you have friends or family staying over, it can be a secondary sleeping area as well. But here are some of the larger 2-bedroom layouts wise. If you look very, very efficient layouts wise, both of these ones here are corner units wise. So maximizing your spaces, maximizing views, lots of natural light coming into these spaces. Some more plans here. This 1-bedroom plus den, the 587 square foot one. You see this is a 2-washroom layout wise. So great again if you're entertaining. This becomes your private space here, and then you have your den/office area, and then another washroom right here. So no one really has to enter your private space here, and then a larger 2+ den space here. So we get your split layout bedrooms wise, and then you have this den area, whether it's working space, whether it's an extended dining room, whether it's a third sleeping area option. Another great, very efficient layout at 713 square feet. Some more layouts wise, again, nice efficient 1-bedroom and den layout right here. and then a larger 2-bedroom and den at 985 square feet. Look at that large living area, a nice right hand 90-degree corner right here. Lots of natural light coming in here. Looking at great definition of space-wise, dining area, living area, open concept kitchen-wise. Den area right here off of everything if you're doing work-wise. A really great efficient layout with lots of outdoor space. And then who's building this development-wise? Well, 72 acres requires lots of partners. And these are some of the best known developers in the game. So we have the Kilmer Group. You may know the family behind the Kilmer Group, the Tannenbaums, who own the Maple Leafs and Raptors. You have Diamond Corp. Diamond Corp specializes in rezoning properties and one of the biggest names in acquiring sites and rezoning the sites and putting sites together. Dream with Kilmer has the experience of doing master plan communities wise. I own in a Dream building in the Canary District. So if you're familiar with the Canary District, it's right beside the Distillery District, which is a master planned community in the southeast corner of downtown Toronto wise. Incredible vision. I love the Canary District. I see great value in the Canary District. I always say it's what Liberty Village could have been. Very smart planning in this area. Definitely check out the Canary District wise. You want to get an idea of what Dream has done in the past. And then we have Fram. Fram is your local connection, your local builder to the Port Credit Mississauga area. That's their specialty. They've been around since 1981. They've done great development in that area wise. So you have a leading team of 4 of the biggest players in the industry dealing with the 72-acre site. Huge financial backing and experience wise. So you know these buildings are going to get built, and you know that they're going to be stand the test of time as well. Just going over the architects behind the sites, the media behind the sites, a great team of individuals helping push this project to the forefront. Really, and that's the presentation there. So overall, as I said, the development is launching tomorrow in regards to pricing and floor plans wise. We've already had individuals start submitting requests to us. Again, we're gonna be sending everything out tomorrow wise once we have pricing and floor plans wise. But if you want to send in your worksheet request wise for the units you're interested in, there is a link that'll be in the email that's sent out to you in the recap email, which will be sent today, but also with the floor plans and pricing, which will be sent out tomorrow. And then you can fill out the worksheet information and let us know which suites you are interested in. Now what we'll do is we will answer any questions that you may have. So I'm going to stop the share and I'll go over to the Q&A portion. And I'll read out the questions and I'll answer them to people-wise. Is it all condos, or will there be a mix of townhomes and condos, and you deal with the townhomes as well? So the answer is yes, there will be townhomes going in this area. They're pushing to have about 15 townhomes in this initial launch wise. They don't have that confirmed yet, but there will be townhomes. If they're not launched now, there will be townhomes launched in the future wise.
Yeah, there's going to be about 400 of them throughout the entire development.
Yeah, another person asking, are there condos currently in Port Credit? Yeah, there are some condos in Port Credit wise, but they're not part of a master planned community wise. So you'll have one-off condo buildings in the Port Credit area. If there's some you want to zone in on down, right on the corner of here, Ontario and Lakeshore, there's a couple of condo buildings there if you want to do some research and check those out. But this is its own self-contained community. So this will kind of be like when people say, where do you live? I live in Brightwater in the Port Credit area. That's what people are going to be saying, and people are going to know what Brightwater is, because it is 3,000 units with its own public spaces, its own public parks wise. So it's going to be a destination point on its own, which will be held by the already established Port Credit area wise. I think we touched about the estimated completion about the first two buildings, which are going to be in 2023, spring 2023. And, you know, I for the deposit structure wise, that wasn't included in the presentation, but the deposit structure is incredibly attractive. One of the benefits of COVID has been the more aggressive positive deposit structures that builders have come out with. So if this was pre-COVID wise, we'd be looking at probably a flat deposit structure of 20% over 540 days. Now what we have is 5% a year. So what they're looking at is basically 5% in 2020. So that's going to be, you know, you typically to 5 to 10,000 on signing, the balance of 5% in 30 days. Then you'll have another 5% payment in 2021. Then you'll have another 5% payment in 2022. So you're really spreading out the payments wise. So when you're budgeting for putting down a deposit on one of these units, and this is great, this is for the end users, it's fantastic wise, because you know, you've spread out that payment wise. If you're doing it off a home equity line of credit off your existing residence wise, I think incredible for end users, because you're not tying up all your capital over a very long period wise. So you're spreading out those payments. You're really looking at savings or capital expenditure wise of only 5% of the purchase price per year, which is incredibly helpful. You know, I don't think I've had that in any of my condos that of the 13 that I have bought in. And I want to add another thing as well. When I say 13, if you go back to my other videos, I said I had 14 condos. And why I'm bringing this up is we talked about the strength of the 4 development partners on here, the billions of dollars of valuations of these companies wise. I actually had a condo building that I bought and get canceled over the last few weeks. It was Television City in Hamilton wise. Because of the backing and the planning and the approvals and everything that's set here, you're not worried about a cancellation here. So what I wanted to reiterate that, because, you know, even I've been a victim of cancellation now. You're not worried about that. So that's very important. If you're locking in your capital, even with the attractive deposit structure wise, you're not worried about, well, what's my return going to be if nothing actually happens wise. You know that you're going to get a product at the end of this. So something very important, especially in these days, is knowing the financial backing of the builders you're investing with wise to make sure you're getting an end product so you actually get a return on your investment.
There was huge public consultation as well, going all the way back to 2017. They consulted with Port Credit West Village Partners. Mayor Bonnie Crombie of Mississauga was involved, you know, city staff. So this has been planned for years now.
Mm-hmm. You know, I got a great question here in the chat. And Kyle knows I speak passionately about this right now. How do you, let me get a sip of water.
You got to build up for it. Wait for it.
I got to build up. And it's actually, I love this question. How do you see the real estate market in the next 24 months with the structural damage from COVID worldwide, lack of foreign buyers? Okay, so how will I handle this? Okay, so first of all, I'm going to handle this in regards to lack of foreign buyers. This isn't going to be a foreign buyer location. This will be more of a domestic location of individuals that are looking to live in this area. And if we look at the housing in this area, which has gone up in value during COVID wise, this is going to be the affordable option for people that want to live in this neighborhood wise. And because it's on the waterfront properties always maintain their values the best during times of uncertainty wise. So if I'm specifically at this location, no impact, you're not dealing with foreign buyers in this location wise. And I'm not going to I actually see more foreign buyers coming in, but I won't get too much into that. But this is a domestic location wise that end users that are very excited to get into, but also investors are looking at diversifying their portfolio wise. And it's really affordable option when you look at the pricing at averaging just over $1,000 per square foot. over across other areas in the GTA. That's number one. Number two, how do I see the real estate market in the next 24 months? Well, it depends on the area wise. Now, I do see big storm clouds in the downtown Toronto condo market. These are very, very different markets, very, very different markets. This is going to be a lifestyle area that people want to live in. Downtown Toronto is driven by a need for people to live down there. Whether you're working in office buildings, whether you're going to post-secondary education wise, whether you're a new immigrant coming to Canada wise. Well, guess what? Office buildings are closed until 2021. Really expect the majority of people not coming back downtown until summer 2021. That's number one. Number two, international students have slowed to a trickle wise. At one point there was none. Some did end up coming in, but that has really slowed down to a trickle. Number three, the atmosphere of living downtown, restaurants, bars, sporting events, all that is shut down. There is no reason for anyone to live downtown right now. So the downtown Toronto condo market will be, and is currently negatively hit by the COVID situation. And I expect prices to go down 5 to 10% over the next 6 months. Until we start seeing a return to some sort of normalcy in downtown Toronto wise, giving people a reason to live downtown again. So you will see pricing go down 5 to 10% over the next 6 months in downtown Toronto. Now, am I worried about downtown Toronto? No, not at all, because everything that's happening in regards to the pricing in downtown Toronto is due to policy wise. Closed borders, close office buildings. Once those restrictions start lifting wise, you're going to give people a reason to live downtown again, and then you're going to go back to how it was pre-COVID wise in regards to pricing and everything like that. But you have no reason to live downtown right now. You have no reason to rent downtown right now. The rental market, the extreme vacancies and the lack of demand of the rental market is starting to bleed over into the sales market, and that's why you're going to see pricing to go down. But in regards, if you take a longer view on it, even on the pre-construction side, buildings that are being completed in 2023, 2024, 2025, not worried about any of those. So it's not all bright skies. There are some storm clouds. It just depends on where you're looking at in the GTA area was. But great question. I love that question. I'm glad someone asked it because I love answering that question. As an investor, what are your thoughts on the ROI? Well, I think when I look at, again, the lack of product in the poor credit area, the demand, it's just supply and demand. I look at the lack of product. I look at the demand in the area. I see pricing going up in the future wise. And I know when I'm in a master plan community, on their pro formas, they have it. This whole project, for the most part, is already priced out. So they've priced out the whole project, and they've priced in the various escalators in the project wise. So I know the future buildings will be higher. They will be higher. You have four builders that I don't want to know how much the salaries are for their analysts wise that they're paying to look at the site wise. All the future buildings will be higher price wise. So you have a built-in escalation of the price point wise, literally by how they're going to release this project. And if you think about it, it's like a stock IPO, right? You know that the pricing that you're getting at the initial launch is lower than what it's going to be when they launch the general public wise, and then for future buildings higher and higher and higher and higher. That's basically how it is. And then when I look at, well, what are my options in investing in other areas across the GTA, that at a similar price per square foot wise, well, I have an established GO train station that's going to bring me downtown in 20 minutes. I can jump in my car and go downtown in 20 minutes. I'm right on the water. What's my best investment opportunity was? Where the issue is going to be is that I'm not going to have enough units to satisfy the demand of our investors that are actually want to get in that project. I know that for a fact. You know, we saw, Kyle, 28 Eastern, and I'm sure we have some people on the call that were 28 Eastern people wise. You know, when you have a good project, it's going to be a lack of supply issue, which is going to lead to increased prices as well. So,
and in addition to that, we've seen master plan communities perform better than the surrounding areas as well. Can you have some slides on that if you want to email me as well. So, you know, first phase of master plan community, we see it as you can't go wrong as an investment.
Yeah, can't. It's built in. And then speaking of that, there will be a brand name for this area as well. You know, we spoke about it as Port Credit. When it's done, well, if you look at downtown Toronto, you know, and there are some negative views maybe on this, but the investments have performed well. City Place, that's one development, and investors have done extremely well in development. You know, that is an established area. You're like, oh, City Place, that's the name of the development. This will be on living in Brightwater, and there will be a brand name to that, which will help push the values up further down the road. So do we have any other questions on here from anyone? The projected maintenance fee per square foot, that'll be given out to you tomorrow wise in regards to when we get the pricing and floor plans and everything. Here's what I always say about your projected maintenance fee per square foot. Everything ends up being relatively the same wise. You're probably looking at somewhere between, I would say 60 to 70 cents per square foot is what you expect. Flip or keep assignment clause. Always keep, always keep, always keep. There will be an assignment clause. I'll have some more details on that tomorrow wise. I'm just waiting for the information from the builder, how they're actually doing the assignment. There will be some sort of assignment clause in there, but it's always keep, always buy, hold, always buy, hold. You know, if I compare my portfolio to people that have sold their product wise, I've made multiple times more money than they have buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling. So it's buy and hold, it's buy, hold, refinance. That's the key to the game. Which if you go to our website, remaxwealthbuilders.com, watch any of our videos or our YouTube channel, watch any of our videos wise. Yeah, go to our website, remaxwealthbuilders.com. Look at our videos.
Remaxwealth.com.
Oh, sorry, remaxwealth.com. Remaxwealth.com. Go to the Insights tab. You'll see all our videos talking about those various things. Love Omar. Love the arm flex on that. Love it. We got some more Q&A coming in here. Thanks. Given a choice, would you invest near Dundas here, Ontario, or Port Credit? Oh, Port Credit. Like that's not even a question wise. Do you want to do you want to invest in Cooksville, or do you want to invest in Port Credit? You're already in an established area. You already have multi-million-dollar homes around you. You're on the GO train line, Port Credit. Parking availability and parking costs per space, I will confirm. That'll be confirmed tomorrow when all that information comes out. We'll confirm that with you. You'll get that when we get the pricing and floor plans. Any other questions from anyone? Okay, we'll wrap it up then. Thank you everyone for attending, taking this time. Really appreciate it. You'll get a recap video sent to you today. There will be a link to fill out a worksheet to reserve a suite. Again, we don't have pricing and floor plans, but we have requests still coming in for 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, various things. So the demand is really significant. So people are reserving things without seeing pricing and floor plans. But pricing and floor plans will come out tomorrow wise. And then we will be in touch about the process to reserve a suite. So thank you again, everyone. If you have any questions, Alex Wilson, Kyle DeVigi, our information will be in the email recap. Thank you so much for attending, and we'll talk to everyone soon. Bye-bye.